Here are a few tips to help you with one-step sparring. You don't need to measure up with one-step sparring. You can judge it by eye. Normally, you're at a distance of about one walking stance. Okay? A lot of techniques would be done with a walking stance, but not always. But leave it to the attacker to decide the distance, because the attacker may want to jump in, for example, from here, jump in to do a neck stance, for example, or to stand very close to do a close range attack. And when they do close range attacks, usually it's best to dodge rather than try to block. But allow the attacker to decide the distance. Now, when you're blocking, make sure that the block is appropriate to deal with the attack. For example, if he does a knife hand strike and I try to block with a reverse knife hand, I'm just helping the strike along, okay? So if I didn't move back enough, he would actually be hitting me and I'll be helping it along. You need to counteract it by going against the attack, yeah? So usually the block is in the direction against the attack, okay? And also use the appropriate tool. One common mistake I often see is people do a block with a knife hand or reverse knife hand, and yet they block with a forearm. So for example, if he does a strike and I form a knife hand, but I block with a forearm, that doesn't make sense. If you form a knife hand, use it. If you form a reverse knife hand, use it. If you want to use the forearm, then just keep the fist closed. Yeah? No need to form the knife hand. Okay? And when you do block, block in the region near the wrist. So if he attacks, it's no good me blocking near the elbow. Okay, so here, okay, it's going to be too much weight here. There, near the wrist. In the example here, in the outer forearm or in a forearm. For example, if he punches, I do a block. I need to knock his arm out of the way, so it needs to have power so that I can move in and attack. Okay, if you leave the arm there, okay, there, and then you move in, he could use it again to attack you. Yeah, so sometimes you really need to put power to knock the attack away. So blocking is not just about stopping an attack from hitting you. It's also to expose a target for you to counterattack. Okay. Now, sometimes when you counterattack, you're too far away. So say he does a punch and I go back and block and I try a punch, you can see the distance is so far. So there are ways that you can adjust the distance. One is to do a foot shift.